So today we're going to be looking at Malbs MD and his impact with the Deagle for Team 1 during ESL Pro League. So this was quite an interesting one because it feels like every round he has a Deagle, it feels like there is a chance that he can make it happen or make it possible for the team to win, right? Like, they've only won 104 rounds so far through their group stage after the 4 best-of-3s. And I was interested to see how many of those rounds were actually off the back of his Deagle. So I went through all the games, and he has 34 kills the Deagle, 10 multi-kill rounds, and I found that 5 of the actual 10 multi-kill rounds led to wins, right? And this is a case where it's not just purely off of him getting 2 or more kills, that was it, that was 100% the whole reason, but more how he gives them a chance to win, and sometimes they capitalise, sometimes they don't. Examples like the first 2 we've just seen here, just clearly showing how sometimes he gets close, but not quite far enough. This one right here is probably the most impactful one of them all, really, because this is actually on round 30 as well, where their back's against the wall, 15-14. If MIBR win, it's going to overtime. The momentum was with them. And he actually delivers a 3k, as well as getting the winning kill, which is perfect. That's a great example right there. But if we actually carry on going through the numbers, right, we see that, as I mentioned, 5 rounds I felt like he was pretty much responsible for actually leading them to win. So if we do 5 over 124, it means that he's responsible, with the Deagle alone, bear in mind, for about 4.81% of the rounds that they won. Which is kind of crazy to think, really, because that means, like, it's not even like he's with a rifle or anything like that, but the Deagle rounds alone are pretty much guiding them to some of the victories that they've had. And I'm not going to say that he should probably use the Deagle more or anything like that, because you could argue a case that they've had the Deagle in his hands more often due to the fact that they have had shortcomings when it comes to their actual rifle rounds or anything like that as well. So overall, there's actually quite a few rounds where we do see his impact with the Deagle come through. This is another round where he gets that perfect trade on short. He then gets another kill on the rotating player as well who's trying to get information. And because of this, they actually close out this game and win it. So this is now actually the second round shown where he gets the kills that lead to them winning the map, which you could argue is much more, valuable than the previous rounds shown as well. The crazy thing about all of this is just the fact that he's such a young player as well. Like, over the time we've been seeing him in the various events over the last 6 months at least, I think a lot of people have grown to become fans of him. Purely because, one, he's 18, and he actually learnt Portuguese to get into this lineup, which is kind of crazy. That's a hell of a commitment right there. It's worth noting as well, this round that's being shown right here is probably one of the rounds that they should have won, 100% should have won, no matter what. Because he's got 2 kills on the entry, he's even got an AWP kill, and then somehow with around 15 seconds on the clock, they still lose, 15 seconds left on the bomb, bear in mind actually, they somehow still lose the round to Hobbit in a 1v2, where he tries to trade him when he probably didn't need to, he could have played some more time, and that's kind of an unfortunate one. But overall, if you see that there's rounds that are actually pretty damn close, and that they probably should have won, you then think, how many rounds could he have actually had in terms of value right here? I think this round is probably my favourite one, just because of the sheer skill involved in some of these kills. Like, they're so crisp, and he has one thing on the mind, and that's headshots. Like, even he gets that kill, he doesn't go for the gun, he goes straight to ruins, make sure, okay, I'm going to take more map control, and he gets another one, and he carries on going. He doesn't even get to the gun before the next player peeks him. It's just crazy shots, really. 3 shots, 3 kills. The other thing as well is, I ran through the numbers on my Twitter personally, and it was just a case of him having, the Deagle is his 3rd most used weapon when it comes to his kills at Pro League so far. And as I mentioned, it's to do with them having not as many gun rounds per se. And due to that as well, we then see how, even though he has a Deagle in his hand, he still plays it in a way that's you can see the confidence, right? And it kind of makes me wonder where they know he's pretty much not the star player, but he is definitely top 2 in that team. And they do cater around it quite a lot. They make sure to give him guns when they do have one available, and they do things like that quite often. So I'm kind of wondering, what would be the long-term goal for a player like him? Do we then see him move into a team where he speaks English through the entire time? Or do we see him then go towards another Portuguese-speaking lineup? Do we see him then go upwards towards the likes of FURIA. I'm not going to say MIBR. I think they're actually not far off of being similar to MIBR. They went the full 3 maps with them as well. So it's kind of curious to see, like, where do we see him going in like a year or 2 time? Because as I said, he is only 18. He is definitely a player with high potential, and we should definitely keep an eye on him, because his value is kind of insane. This round right here, he's already had 1 kill, and the second comes through. He then does even more damage to both of the remaining players here, and I'm going to include the POV of Multikill, who actually gets the 2 kills because of the damage, right? So he tries to spam that smoke, and then, as you see in top right, Multikill's got 1 kill on Shiro, which is an assist from Malbs. Malbs then gets another tag on Axile, and then Multikill gets the kill and has another assist from Malbs again. Like, he's definitely a player to keep an eye on for the future, and I'm really loving what we're seeing from them, even though they haven't exactly been, you know, showstoppers per se as a team. They're still performing where it's like you can see the potential. There is a chance for them to do bigger and better things. Maybe it depends on, you know, more time, or see if they play against, you know, more high caliber teams, right? This is actually going to be the last round shown as well. So this is another round where he actually gets it down to a 1v1, and unfortunately he will actually get timed later on as well. But regardless, it's just a case of, like, you see these Deagle kills and they're so crisp. Like, they are so nice.